I'm immediately going to proceed to JB's speech. And JB, I haven't written down your speech title. And you remind me, please, or statement.
The glue that keeps everyone together.
That's nice. The glue that keeps everyone together.
Okay. I'm not going to have the speech criteria read again, because it's going to be the same as just read by Rivers. The time is 4 to 6 minutes, just to emphasize that again. I think we did time the previous one according to that. You get the microphone first. And the third is not going back now. Steph?
No.
By the way, we noticed that the 30 dropped off when I think Remus was speaking.
It did.
Then Steph sneaked up and he came and fetched it here. You'll have to erase that from the movie. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker is Jamie Haasbroek. The glue that keeps everything together. The glue that keeps everything together, Jamie Haasbroek.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Thank you, fellow Toastmasters. There is a bit of irony involved that I should be doing my icebreaker speech on an evening where we talk about microphones and leadership. I have been typecast throughout my life in the role of the glue that keeps every team that I'm involved with together, and it's because of my upbringing and because of where I come from. So I was brought up in the northern part of the Free State, on the edge of the Vaal River, between a small town called Parijs and Sasolburg. And my father was a factory man and worked for the factory all his life, for as long as I can remember. And grew up in a very small town from very strict but very liberal parents, Afrikaans, white Afrikaans parents, in a very traditional Afrikaans community. So if I can take you there, imagine living in a town where your father is a liberal in a town that everybody knows everyone. And that never seemed to bother him, but as a child growing up, I never quite understood the references. If I say my father and my mother were strict, I hear that quite often since I've had my own children, that parents say, no, I only talk once, and then there's consequences for my children. My father was one of those who never spoke once. You should realize that there's consequences for your actions, and certain actions will certainly not be tolerated. So we were brought up to have respect for our fellow human beings, but also in a very strict manner. And I'm sad to say today, although we have a better relationship today, I was for a very long time afraid of my father. It gave me this people-pleasing burden that I'm carrying everywhere I go, that I have to fight every day. So I'm a people pleaser. But with that, I acquired a lot of skills over the years for which I'm very thankful. I have acquired skills that I'm very grateful for. So, people pleasers combined with an achieving personality usually gets the name it, claim it, and frame it. So there's hardly an award at school level that I haven't achieved or got. And I, for such a long time in my life, thought that would give me purpose, and I thought achieving was my passion. And it was only later in life that I realized it's not all about that. It's when I met my wife, and she grew up in a very large family. I'm the oldest of 3, but she's got 4 brothers. And she's not the oldest, and she's the treasured one, and the one that everybody loves. And it was then that these thoughts and ideas in my life was challenged in a big way. Because I then realized that there was a space for mistakes, and there was a space for families to love one another. For that, I will always be very thankful that she taught me that. But the result of the upbringing and what I've explained up until now is that as an extrovert, I'm constantly typecast on teams, and because of the people pleasing, and because of the upbringing that I had in the northern part of the Free State, I always find myself in between two opposing groups of people in a team, and I'm always the mediator. I'm always the one coming in between and saying, guys, how can we solve this? And it happens quite naturally. It was only at a later age, when my friend Christian showed it out or pointed it out to me, that I realized that. So since then, I've actually received a lot of freedom in my personal capacity, and actually courage just to take up, whenever I take up a position in a team environment, that I have the courage to say, listen guys, I can see we are of two opposing views, and how do we work this out? How can we work together? How can we bring these worlds together? So, if you're a litigation attorney fighting with people, it's quite a useful skill to have, to say to people, these are the points at hand, and how can we meet one another? I'm often accused of settling matters way before they can go to court, but I can just find ways, I seem to always find ways with the opposing parties to make things meet and to get people to working together in harmony. So, here I am as my icebreaker speech to the Rival Communicators Club, the glue, ladies and gentlemen, that I believe will keep this club together. Thank you.